Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we talk about 9 different ways to earn passive income. And for each one, I'm talking about how hard it is to start, how hard it is to make $100 a month from it, and how hard it is to maintain once you've built it. In my business, those 9 different sources generate about $27,000 a week these days with varying degrees of inactivity. And apparently, it's been done for 8 years. So don't expect to hit numbers like that when you start. But this is the video I wish I had when I started my financial independence journey many years ago. Let's get to it. Okay, when I say passive income, I always quote it because passive income really doesn't exist. It is not possible to make money doing nothing. But when I say passive income, I mean that money is not directly tied to that time. Let's say you had to write a book. When you write a book, you publish a book that is now on the bookshelf. You once worked to write and publish a book. But now every time the book sells, you earn royalties, which is passive income. You can literally make money while you sleep because you created this thing in the world that will earn you an income. The other thing with passive income is that it always takes a very long time to get going. So, if you see any ads before this video talking about how you can get rich quick by whatever scheme, or if you see people in the comments pretending to be me saying, "Oh my God, here's how you can get rich quick with crypto, WhatsApp this number." That is all a scam. It's not going to work. There is no way to get rich quick. It is not a thing. So if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme, those things just don't exist. So you might as well not even try. And on that, I think money is ultimately just a means of exchanging value. The only way to make money is to provide value. And the only way to make passive income, or passive money, is to provide value in a way that is not directly related to your time. So please don't try to join a get-rich-quick scheme. They don't exist. I've gotten a lot of messages over the years from people trying to sign up for a get-rich-quick crypto or gambling scheme or, "Hey, this is how you play poker online." None of these things ever work. People always lose money. The only way to make money is to provide value. So let's talk about 9 different ways that you can provide value if you want. Just before we get started, I want to let you know that I just released my brand new Skillshare course on content creator productivity, how to start a successful side business. It is linked in the video description. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I'll talk more about Skillshare later, but I want to put together my own category because I think it's really good, and people really like it, and it helps you get advice on how to start your side hobby. Free time. Anyway, let's get to the video. Well, let's get to work. Make the background music upbeat. Okay, the second passive income idea is to create a YouTube channel. I specialize in this. How hard is it to create a YouTube channel? I give it, well, out of 5 stars because it is very easy to create a YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/click to create a channel, and you can upload videos just by taking a photo with your phone and uploading it. In fact, it's much harder to make good videos, and making good videos is the way to grow on YouTube. However, getting started with YouTube is very easy. The real question is, how hard is it to make real money from YouTube? Let's say again that we want to make a passive income of $100 a month. What does it look like? First, to make money on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing. It took me 6 months and 52 videos to get my first 1,000 subscribers. And if we look at averages, on average 90 videos take 1,000 subscribers. So it's quite difficult if you think that you will start a YouTube channel and start making money from day one. It's practically not going to happen. It took 52 videos and 6 months to get there. So when people message me, "Hey, I want to start YouTube," I say, "Look, you have to be able to put in the effort and do it for a very long time, at least once a week." I say at least 2 years before you can expect anything in return. Well, the average revenue per 1,000 views on YouTube is about $2. So it varies a lot, but let's say on average about $2 per 1,000 impressions. If you want to earn $100 a month, you need 50,000 views on YouTube to earn $100 a month. Let's say you make 1 video a week, and let's say you're not getting traffic to your older videos. This means that every video you make should get about 12,500 views. And very roughly, the average YouTube channel can expect about 20% of subscribers to equal an average view of each video. So if you had 62,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is about a very average lead, you can expect from them 20% or 12,500 views of each video. In fact, it is very difficult to make attractive YouTube videos, and it is very easy to start, but it is difficult to do it well. It's totally worth it. It's a great skill. It's really fun. You can meet people online. You will learn how to talk to the camera and how to shoot and edit videos. And that's really cool, but it's really hard to make money on YouTube. Finally, about maintenance. Getting the first 1,000 subscribers is much more difficult than growing them. Because when you have 1,000 subscribers and your channel is growing, it means you've hit on a formula that works. And so it's easier to save it and then start from scratch. YouTube can be monetized in other ways, such as branded offers and sales of peripherals and all kinds of goods. But it doesn't really count as passive income via YouTube, so I won't include it in this side score matrix. The number 3 passive income idea is to start a podcast. Make the background music upbeat. Create a YouTube video using exactly this script. This is usually easier than creating a YouTube channel. Although growing a podcast is much harder than growing a YouTube channel because podcasts don't really have an algorithm to help them grow. There are actually a lot of podcasts growing on YouTube, which is kind of weird. So how hard is it to start a podcast? Again, 1 star out of 5, it's very easy to start a podcast. Go to anchor.fm and you can literally use your phone and pass the phone between you and your friends and start a podcast. You can use a site called riverside.fm that I recently invested in as an angel investor. Riverside makes it very easy to record. Podcasts generally need a sponsorship or branding deal to monetize your podcast, and interviews. Starting a podcast is very easy, but how hard is it to make $100 a month passive income from podcasting? Again, this isn't exactly passive income because the way a podcaster makes money is based on branded offers. YouTube's AdSense for podcasts does not exist. And that's why you can probably make about $18 for a 30-second ad on a podcast, and 25,000 views or 1,000 listens for a 60-second ad. So if you want to make $100 a month, and assuming you have a lot of sponsors who will give you that level of sponsorship based on downloads, you will need about 1,000 downloads per episode if you have a weekly podcast. So you would have 4,000 downloads per month. And if you put a 60-second ad out there at $25 per 1,000 impressions, you'd pay about $100 a month. 1,000 downloads per episode and 4 episodes per month. This begs the question, how hard is it to get 1,000 downloads a month? Well, downloading 1,000 podcasts a month is a lot harder than getting 1,000 YouTube views a month. Because, again, YouTube has so much built-in distribution that it's different than podcasts. There are also a lot more people on YouTube than podcasts. But if we look at the statistics, 20% of the most popular podcasts in the world average more than 1,000 downloads per episode. For example, my roommate Sheen, started his own podcast about 5 months ago. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out, and his podcast averages around 400 to 500 downloads per episode. Not bad at all, especially if he started 5 months ago and had 0 audience when he started. So he didn't have the unfair advantage that I had in the beginning of my podcast, for example. And since he just released the 2nd season of the podcast and just started posting videos about it on YouTube, that's really helping the podcast grow. And I'm pretty sure that in the next 6 months, he'll get to a point where he can pretty easily make $100 a month with his podcasts. So we're back to the unfinished scoring matrix. Starting a podcast, 1 out of 5 stars. Making $100 a month, I give it 3 stars out of 5 because it's hard, but not as hard as making money on YouTube, where you have that minimum threshold. And finally, maintenance. Well, it's not really passive income because you have to keep making podcast episodes because there are brand deals involved. But again, once you've found a formula that works, once you know how to be a podcaster, it's easier to continue once you've already started, as with most things. And to keep the podcast, I give it 2 stars. For example, me, so my brother and I have a podcast called Not Overthinking, Link in the video description if you want to watch it. But we make about $625 a week from the podcast, from brand endorsements and our membership. Okay, passive income idea number 4 is to become an affiliate marketer.
Folks, let's talk about making your money work for you. That's what passive income is all about. And one of the best ways to do that, investing in stocks. Now I know what you're thinking. Dave, isn't that risky? Well, let me tell you something. Life is risky. But smart investing, that's how you build wealth. When you invest in stocks, you're buying a piece of a company. As that company grows, so does your investment. It's like planting a money tree in your backyard. You water it, you nurture it, and over time, it bears fruit. That fruit, that's your passive income. Regular folks like you and me can do this too. It's about making your money multiply while you sleep. Let's get real for a minute. Your savings account, it's like a leaky bucket. Sure, it's safe, but it's not doing much for you. With today's interest rates, you're lucky if you're getting 1% on your savings. That's not even keeping up with inflation, folks. Now, let's look at stocks. Over the long haul, the stock market has averaged about a 10% return annually. Even after inflation, you're looking at around 7%. That's a world of difference from your savings account. Let's say you have $10,000. In a savings account at 1% after 10 years, you'd have about $11,046. Now let's put that same $10,000 in a stock market index fund. At an average 7% return after inflation, you'd have about $19,672. It's about your future. Now let's talk about index funds. These are like the smart person's shortcut to investing. Instead of trying to pick individual stocks, an index fund buys a little bit of everything in a particular market index. It's like buying a slice of the entire stock market pie. The granddaddy of all index funds, that's the S&P 500. This fund tracks the 500 largest companies in the US. We're talking giants like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. When you invest in an S&P 500 index fund, you're essentially buying a tiny piece of all these companies. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're spreading your risk across 500 of the biggest, most successful companies in America. If one company stumbles, the others can pick up the slack. It's the closest thing to set it and forget it in the investing world. Let's crunch some numbers, folks. I want you to see the power of investing in action. We'll use the historical average return of the S&P 500, which is about 10% per year. After inflation, we're looking at about 7%. Say you start with $1,000 and invest $100 every month. After 10 years, at 7% annual return, you'd have about $19,351. After 20 years, that same investment strategy would give you about $58,902. And after 30 years, hold on to your hats. You'd be looking at $130,587. What if you could invest $500 a month? After 10 years, you'd have $91,473. After 20 years, $277,393. And after 30 years, a whopping $611,729. Time is your biggest ally in investing. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Section 5. Getting started. Choosing a trading platform. All right, let's get practical. How do you actually start investing? Well, these days, it's easier than ever. You don't need a fancy broker or a lot of money. All you need is a smartphone and a few dollars to get started. In the US, platforms like Vanguard, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab are great for beginners. They offer low-cost index funds and excellent customer service. If you're looking for something even simpler, apps like Robinhood or Acorns can get you started with just a few taps. For my international friends, don't worry. There are options for you too. The key is to look for a platform with low fees and a user-friendly interface. As a beginner, you want something simple and straightforward. Section 6. The power of long-term investing. Now listen up, because this is crucial. When you invest in stocks, you've got to think long-term. I'm talking 5, 10, even 20 years down the road. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich slow and steady plan. Why is this so important? Because the stock market can be like a roller coaster in the short term. It goes up, it goes down. But over the long haul, it tends to go up. If you panic and sell every time the market dips, you'll miss out on the big gains. Instead, adopt a set-it-and-forget-it mentality. Over time, this can lead to better returns. Section 7. Saving Capabilities, a Global Perspective. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Dave, this all sounds great, but I can barely make ends meet. How am I supposed to invest? I hear you. And I want to acknowledge that saving and investing capabilities vary widely around the world. In some countries, like the US or Germany, the average person might be able to save 10 to 15% of their income. In others, like India or Brazil, it might be closer to 5%. And in some places, saving anything at all might seem impossible. But here's the thing. It's not about how much you start with. It's about starting. Even if you can only save 1% of your income, that's a start. The key is to make saving and investing a habit. Section 8. Overcoming investment fears and obstacles. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, fear. A lot of folks are scared of investing. They think it's too complicated, too risky. They're afraid of losing money. And you know what? That's normal. But we can't let fear stop us from building a better future. First, let's address the complexity. Yes, the stock market can seem complicated, but remember, we're talking about index funds here. You don't need to understand every little detail of how the market works. You just need to understand the basic principle. Over time, the market tends to go up. The key to overcoming these fears is education. Start small, learn as you go, and gradually increase your investments as you become more comfortable. Section 9. Building Wealth, a step-by-step approach. All right, let's put it all together. Here's your step-by-step guide to building wealth through stock market investing. Step 1. Start with an emergency fund. Before you invest, make sure you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in a readily accessible account. This is your safety net. Step 2. Choose a low-cost index fund. An S&P 500 index fund is a great place to start. Look for one with low fees, ideally under 0.1%. Step 3. Open an account with a reputable broker. Choose one that offers the index fund you want and has low or no fees. Step 4. Set up automatic investments. Decide how much you can invest each month and set it up to happen automatically. This takes willpower out of the equation. Step 5. Increase your investments over time. As your income grows, try to increase your monthly investment. Even small increases can make a big difference over time. Section 10. Success Stories, Real-Life Examples. Let me tell you about Sarah. She started investing $100 a month in an S&P 500 index fund when she was 25. She wasn't rich, just a regular person with a regular job. But she was consistent. She kept at it month after month, year after year. Now Sarah is 55. That $100 a month investment? It's grown to over $200,000. And that's with a pretty average market performance. Sarah didn't do anything complicated, she just started early and stayed consistent. Then there's Mike. He started later at 40, but he was able to invest more, $500 a month. He's now 60, and his investment has grown to over $300,000. These aren't extraordinary cases.
Becoming an affiliate marketer is an exciting journey that opens up numerous opportunities. Affiliate marketing means that you sell other people's products, but you get a percentage of the sales of those products. It's a win-win situation for both parties involved. Now, 48% of affiliate marketers worldwide earn $20,000 per year, which is $1,660 per month, which is actually not bad at all if you think about it. How hard is it to get started with affiliate marketing? Well, I give it 2 stars out of 5, so it's manageable with a bit of effort and dedication. But how hard is it to make $100 a month? Well, it's actually quite difficult. So Amazon has their own affiliate program, which I think is probably the biggest in the world. Besides Amazon, I have a few other affiliate programs that I'm affiliated with. One of them is Skillshare, who kindly sponsored this video. I'll tell you about the sponsorship segment later, but Skillshare has an interesting affiliate program where if you refer someone to sign up for a free trial of Skillshare, you can earn a $7 affiliate commission. And as we always say on this channel, the way to grow an audience is to create useful content, put it on the internet for free once a week, and do it for at least 2 years. Now, if we look at me and my business, today our Skillshare business is making $11,000 a month in affiliate earnings, which is about $2,750 a week. Now, these are products that you create once, like an ebook or a downloadable file or an app or something like that. So you create it once and then you can sell it many times because there are usually no costs associated with selling digital products. One really good example is this guy named Traff, who I follow on Twitter, who created an iOS 14 icon pack and sold it a few months ago for about $30 and made $300,000. Only for a few weeks, of course, because many people around the world wanted to buy his icon pack. Another example is my YouTube friend Oliver, who has made $700,000 selling his site Tumblr themes since 2014. So he made website themes for Tumblr, sells them, and earns an average of $700,000. Overall, it's pretty cool since 2014. How hard is it to start making digital products? Overall, it's pretty cool since 2014. How hard is it to start making digital products? I mean, anyone can write an ebook, and an ebook is considered a digital product. So I give it a 2-star rating. You know, creating an ebook is very easy, but it's a whole other game trying to get people to buy your ebook or your icon pack, or buy your apps or websites. And since the market for these things is so competitive, you have to be very good to get people to buy your stuff. And the way you get people to pay you for something is to identify their problem, solve it, and then pay them for it. And if you can do these 3 things, then you know that I wouldn't say it's easy to make $100 a month, but it's very possible to make $100 a month. You really have to have something that solves a pain point that other people are willing to pay for. So we give it 3 out of 5 stars to get $100 per month for selling digital products. And finally, in terms of maintenance, we give it 2 out of 5 stars because you usually have to maintain your product a bit, but often it's easier to do, like it's much easier to maintain a product than create a product. Idea number 6 to create passive income. One of the most exciting things you can do today is to create an online course. Now, an online course is like a digital product, but usually online courses are in video format. In fact, this entire video is so long that it could basically be an entire online course. Maybe I'll do one on that topic. And about getting started, we give the initial difficulty 2 out of 5 stars because the online course is not that hard to do, but in general, you have to know how to make videos. So you can actually record an online course on your iPhone or phone, no matter what phone you're using, if you're one of those Android geeks. Put the phone away, talk on the phone, teach something. So it's not hard to create one, but if you're making $100 a month, the course must be pretty good at that point. And the only reason people will pay for it is if the course is really good. Now you can avoid paying for online courses by using a site like Skillshare, who kindly sponsored this video. I have several hours on Skillshare. I've been teaching on Skillshare since September 2019, and I actually just released my new online course, Productivity for Creators, on how to start a successful side business. There, I will teach you the benefits of how you can create a side hustle in your spare time without leaving your job. I pay for Skillshare. I've been paying for years even after I started teaching on it because it's a really great place to learn things. They have thousands of courses on all kinds of other subjects. But you should definitely check out mine, like the 9 I have. Another great thing about Skillshare is that it's similar to YouTube. Anyone can upload a course to Skillshare as long as it meets certain quality standards. So it's much easier to make your website and create your course platform and everything. So getting started is pretty easy. If you go the Skillshare route, you need about 1,700 minutes of viewing time to earn $100 a month on Skillshare, which is 28 hours of viewing time. So if you have a 1-hour lesson on Skillshare, you need 28 students every month, and look at that with a premium membership. And that will set you back about $100 a month. Another way to earn $100 per month from a course is to simply charge $100 for the course. And if you do, you only need one discount each month. How hard is it to get one person a month to buy your course? Again, if it's good, the world of online education is exploding every year, that more and more money is being spent on online education, especially with the whole pandemic. And the nice thing is that once you've completed the course and you're making $100 a month from it, it's actually pretty easy to maintain that level. We give it 2 out of 5 stars because you usually don't need to update the course that often. And you can do it every now and then, and you just have to make sure you get decent traffic to it. And hopefully the traffic will increase over time. Currently, most of my online courses, at least the very passive ones, are hosted on Skillshare, and that's kind of ridiculous. But today, they earn around $60,000 to $65,000 per month in pure passive income. Love that I do literally nothing with my Skillshare courses after I complete them other than reply to comments and add them to the occasional video. And that's like $60,000 a month in passive income. That means it's about $15,000 a week. And that makes up most of the $27,000 a week this company is making in pure passive income right now. Idea number 7 for passive income is to create it as some sort of paid membership or community model. Again, this is usually a bad idea unless you have an existing audience that we keep coming back to. Like everything, it's easier to create content that is valuable for a long time, very consistently, with an existing audience. This audience knows what they like and trusts you, so if you say, "Hey guys, join my Patreon," chances are some people will. Another way to gain membership is to create a value proposition that is compelling enough that people are willing to pay for a community service. If we use Patreon, for example, my friend Hannah Witten, who is a YouTuber, has about 600,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I think he has about 600 Patreons, 626 last time I checked, which means if we look at our Patreon stats, which are public, he makes between £2,000 to £5,000, or $3,000 to $7,000 passively a month. Income from that audience. But that's like 600 people out of an audience of 600,000. So 1 in 1,000 of his subscribers join Patreon. So you obviously know that if these stats are generally true, if you look at Matt Devella's Patreon as well, you need a large audience to make a significant amount of money for Patreon. Again, it depends on how much you pay for them and what value you offer. Another example of a paid membership community is my friend Anne Law, who runs the website Ness Labs, and they have a paid membership community that costs $5 a month. And he started it in the summer of 2019. He had 0 audience at the time and only wrote 100 blog posts in 100 working days, and built such an audience that in March 2020 he launched a membership. He initially had paying members, and I think last month he just passed $100,000 a year in annual recurring revenue, which is pretty amazing for something that started less than 2 years ago. So how easy is it to start a membership program? Well, it's actually very simple. We can give it 1 star because it is very easy to set up. You just have to create an account on a membership platform like Patreon. But to earn $100 a month, you have to bid $100 a month. And it's actually pretty hard to do it. We give it 4 out of 5 stars. But again, the good thing is that once you get the formula, if you're making $100 a month, it's actually a lot easier to keep it, because the financial work of affiliates requires, people are the stuff already registered for. So keeping the support they provide isn't too hard. For this business, we have a part-time community of YouTuber Academy alumni called Part-Time YouTube Inner Circle. And we earn about $2,800 per week from this community of members. It is not very passive. We organize 3 or 4 events a week and twice a day, collaborative events with Zoom, and we have a lot more going on. So it takes a lot of work, but $2,800 a week is pretty good for the members community. So idea number 8 for passive income is to start a business that sells goods or services. Automating a business, and then automate or delegate aspects of that business so that your income from it is fairly passive. Tim Ferriss talks a lot about this in the 4-Hour Workweek, where there are many businesses that you can do where you sell stuff or sell a service, and then you can delegate, outsource, automate in intelligent ways to make your income passive. Again, using my friend Olia on his YouTube channel, he talks about his $1 million Shopify store. He designs and sells these really cool vegan leather desk accessories and bags and mouse pads and stuff. And it was a lot of work to create, but now he has a team of 3 people running the company. So he spends relatively less time on running the company, so it's kind of a passive income for him. Also, if you go the service route, I have a friend who runs an Instagram and Facebook ad agency where he has clients who pay him something, I think a few $100s a month to run his Facebook and Instagram commercials. And for him, setting up Facebook and Instagram ads is a bit of a pain at first, but then it's a bit automated and he has a team around it. And he used things like Zapier to automate the business, so every month he has to do a very small amount of actual work to make it work. But starting with this thing is quite difficult. We're going to give this one 4 to 5 stars to begin with because, again, you have to build a business, and it's pretty hard to build a business that really delivers value. Likewise, we rate it 4 out of 5 stars for $100 per month in revenue. Because, again, you have to be able to provide value, and creating value is hard. As if it wasn't as easy as creating an account on a stock platform and just investing money. You have to give people value, which is a bit difficult. But the good thing is that once you get started, like everything, maintenance is a little easier, so we rate it 3 out of 5. Finally, idea number 9 to make passive income: make the background music upbeat. Building an app or website is to create an app or a website or some software that you can offer today, either standalone or, more likely, as a subscription service. And it's a whole class called SaaS, Software as a Service. Now, if you look at indiehackers.com, there are literally hundreds of examples of people who have built software companies that are making passive income. They share their income numbers, tell you how they got started, and give you their advice. I was recently interviewed on an episode of the Indie Hackers podcast, which is really cool because I've been listening to it for years and following this site for years. And I was interviewed about starting an online course like Osajaga YouTube Academy. Now, I have some personal experience with this. So when I was in college, I made a website called BMAT Ninja and UCAT Ninja. So software as a service was a question bank for medical students applying to medical school to do well on their entrance exams. And it was something that me and my brother coded from scratch. He and I both know how to code. We learned at a young age. So we spent the summer of 2015 working to make these things happen. I think the first year we made about $10,000. And last year, in the 5th year, it was about $25,000 from BMAT Ninja. So, you know, it's pretty good money, but it was a lot of work to organize those things. As for getting started, I give it a 5 out of 5 because it's actually pretty hard to make an app. You mostly have to know how to code, you have to be able to propose something compelling, and you have to actually build it, which takes a lot of work and is very difficult, but it's fun. And once you do that, I'll give you $100 a month for 4-star difficulty. Because again, it's simple, quite simple. Laughs. You can make an app, but getting people to pay for it is a different story, so we give it 4 stars. But the good thing is that, as with everything, maintenance is a little easier, so we give it 3 stars. If you like this video and want to start your business generating passive income online, check out this short playlist here of my favorite videos I've compiled of tips for entrepreneurs. How I started building my businesses from scratch, how I learned to code such things, it's all in this playlist. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.